All right. Welcome to My Kind of Convo. Thank you for all our listeners for tuning in. We really appreciate it. My name is Criss, and I'm one of your hosts, and I'll be talking about relationships and, different things related to TV and movies and stuff, but things that are interesting in our life, friendships, lovers, friendships, things like that. So expect that from me.
All right, and I'm Kim. I am your local geek, the bestest with the mostest. So I go through comic books, I go through comic cons, I go through anything a little bit geeky. You'll also hear me go through TikToks, and also, am I the asshole? Because I love Reddit for some odd reason. But yeah, that's what you'll hear from me.
This is Criss. Like I said before, I'll be nitpicking your brain for all those kooky, crazy, some scary, some fun, some weird conspiracies, and maybe a few other topics.
Nice. So thank you again for listening to us. Definitely follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram and Facebook under My Kind of Convo. So tune in on those and get some, your daily dose of us. So to start off today, we're definitely going to be responding to one of our last episode questions, which was, what are some of the wildest or craziest dates that you have been on, whether it was a first date, whether it was a most recent date, it could have been a third date. So since we are still fairly new, we are definitely going to come back to this question, but we definitely wanted one of our hosts to kind of respond to this because she has quite a little story to tell.
Okay, so that's me. So my first date with my current was very interesting. So we met at a park, standard, nothing crazy. We'd been chatting back and forth for a minute, and we met at a park for the first date. And around this time was the worst because this was almost 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And my phone at that time, T-Mobile, was having some issues. Our messages were not going.
It's not like today.
It's not like today.
Oh,
Yo,
okay.
it works better now. All right,
does
all right.
it?
Mine does. I don't know about yours. All right. So my messages weren't getting through to them. Their messages weren't getting through to me. It ended up they stood on top of their car and waved from the other end of the park.
Wait a minute. What? You didn't tell me that part.
That's how we first really
You didn't turn around?
No, because I was waiting and I couldn't get a hold of them. Okay, so eventually they called and they were like, "Yo, I'm gonna stand on top of my car." I'm like, "No, don't." Middle of the city, right?
In the middle of the city.
In the middle of the city, and they stood on top of their car.
No shame.
None. This person, no shame, stood on top of their car. It's a red car. I'll never forget that car. And waved, and that's how I knew where they were. Met up, went, and we parked the car, right? And then, talking, first date jitters, all that good stuff. Went to see a movie. Cool, saw a movie. It was great. Had a great time. Walking back to the car. As we turn the corner, we're talking, we're having a great time. Now you gotta think, we parked the car. It was maybe 2 hours later because it was a good movie, It was a kiddie movie, but it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Parked the car. We're walking down the block to the car, and we see the car get hitched up on the toe. Their car was being towed. They run away from me. It's like, yo, this is my car.
Yo.
They're like, well, you parked in a no parking zone. We did not see the sign.
Yeah.
But it was cool because they waited the 2+ hours.
Yeah, they were
the
like,
movie was
we're
done.
going to wait 2 hours to take this car. We're going to see if this guy's going to come.
This guy never comes back for their car, right? These people never come back for their car. So they're like, yo, what can I do to get my car? I need my car. this time, this person was living in another state. So, they were like, yo, go down to the pier. You bail your car out.
You didn't tip? You wasn't. This is it for me.
I felt horrible because I suggested the parking spot.
Oh my God. I was about to say, it wasn't your car.
It wasn't my car, but I suggested the parking spot.
Oh, you owed him.
I did. I did. So I was like, I'm so sorry. They definitely were like, you could go. I'm embarrassed. Whatever.
Oh, standing on the car wasn't enough.
No.
Oh, that wasn't
embarrassing at all. So I was like, nah, I'll walk with you over there. Continued the date. We walk over there. My phone dies. Okay? Which makes it worse because I kind of only told one person I was going on the date.
Oh my God.
That's me.
So if anyone else tried to reach me,
impossible.
From this point on. Meeting this person officially for the first time.
Right.
Okay.
So, stranger danger was out the window at this point.
Yeah. And the worst part is that we're in this little place to get the car. They joined the line there and they had to pay $250 to get the car out. $250.
Damn.
All right. They were like, I'm done. It's over. And they're like, I've been texting you and I was on the line. I was like, yo, my phone died. So there's nothing I can do. Get back to their car. And I was like, look, you could just drop me off. He's like, nah, I'm going to drop you home. I'll drop you all the way home.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I mean, he thought maybe I could salvage this
date.
I mean,
you know,
you're like, you know what? We're back on the straight and narrow.
You
You know,
said she a rider.
right? So it's like, you know what? She walked me to go get my car. At least I could do is take you home. So that you know, chivalry ain't dead.
Like Terry from White Chicks. That's wifey.
So it doesn't end here. Okay? In the car, charging my phone. My phone, for some reason, refuses to charge. We then go get something to eat real quick. Diner, cool, whatevers. We make a U-E to come back towards my place. Why we get pulled over by the cops?
And what happened?
Yo, like, I'm done. Like, I can't.
I would definitely have thought date is so over at this point. Like what I thought I was salvaging just literally got buried.
Nah, my man said this. We Bonnie and Clyde. We're doing this.
It was done.
I'm thinking it's done.
Right.
If I was in his shoes, I would have been like, oh, well, this definitely is it.
Yo,
She
and I
ain't
know
never
that's
gonna
what went
see
through
me
their
again.
head. So, get pulled over. Like, I'm not from here.
That's wild.
I'm just trying to take my date home. We get off with a warning.
Yeah, lucky.
At this point, gets me close to home because I don't know you, stranger danger. Park me up on the corner.
Right. Rightfully so.
We hug and they drive home. So I knew it was going to be like an hour for them to get home, an hour or something. And I get in the house and I texted them. Finally, first I get my ass chewed out. My phone was
rightfully
dead.
so. 'Cause,
Rightfully
you know,
so.
hello.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. I can't get you. And
Right,
you're
free
out
now.
doing something that ain't nobody else knows. So,
Right.
you know, I can't explain the disappearance. You know,
I was gone for hours.
I don't got this person's number. She didn't leave me with nothing. She left.
She said, I can't even lie right.
I had nothing to go off. She legit went missing. What do I do in turn to the family? So, where's Kim?
Sweating. Full blown sweat. Just right down the middle of your forehead. And for some reason that light.
Any older sibling knowing that they are covering, or any sibling in general knowing they're covering for a sibling, and that sibling does some ish where you cannot even like get a hold of them, you have no other information, they know the struggle,
Right.
they know the pain, because you know that that guardian, parent, whoever ask about this person, you might as well walk outside and start, just doing your own grade. Just shoveling your own grade. Pack a bag. That's right. You just go. So it was nice living here. I've enjoyed the something plus years I had with you guys because I have no response for you. Yeah. So I will save you the time and energy.
Damn.
I'll kick my own self out.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
So I get my phone charged. I text him like, thanks for a memorable date. Yo. He's like, text me back. I thought I would never hear from you again.
I don't give man's wrong.
I hope you got home okay.
I don't give man's wrong at all. I would have thought at that point there was nothing saving this day.
The most memorable date I've ever had. There you go.
So that's the wildest, craziest story we have from one of our hosts. But we still want to hear from you guys. So definitely let us know. We'll definitely be looking out in the comments for your responses. And hopefully not as crazy as hers.
Please don't be as crazy as... But I accept your craziness. Full-heartedly.
Yes. 100%. So definitely getting to that. Back to that. All right. So we're going to get into our topics for today. And I will start. So for my lovely ladies and for my listeners, I think one thing that I've thought about, and it's something I guess like I've always had an opinion about, but I would love to hear your opinions about it, is the differences between taking a break and breaking up. Yeah, okay. You guys know this is one of those, like, once it started becoming boyfriend, from the time boyfriends and girlfriends were created, to now, this understanding of I need to take a break, or we're taking a break, compared to I'm breaking up with you. It seems to be this very thin...
It's a very thin line.
Right.
It's an extremely thin line because, okay, my version of a break is we are still together, but we have no, like, real conversation. We're doing, we're still together, though. We're still attached. But that thin line is that there are certain, like, we're not, like, going out. You're not, like, sleeping with other people. You're not in my space. Right, kind of thing. Like, I'm going to my mom's house for the weekend and I can't talk to you. Kind of thing. A breakup is, we're done. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to me, don't text me, don't do nothing to me. I am free on the market. So, but it's a very, very thin line.
I think for me that this for a break and a breakup. That's why I've always said, like, if you're going to tell me I need a break, just break up with me.
100%.
Just break up with me. And I think this is the reason it's a very Ross and Rachel situation. For me, it's like when you say a break and you're saying no contact, I'm taking this time for myself. I am taking the time I need to get myself back to whatever I'm seeking within me. It sounds like a breakup.
Yep.
100%. That's just my thing about it. And this is just my opinion. I'm just never been down for breaks because breaks just feel like if I'm going to take the space and the time that I need, well, then technically I'm broken up with you. Mm-hmm. The only difference that between the break and the breakup is I'm expecting that you're not sleeping or going out with someone else during a break. That in a breakup, you can do whatever the heck you want because we're no longer together.
Correct.
A break is like you're still attached to me, but I'm still doing me. And to me, that's just it's a very thin line of, like, not you're keeping the person, but you're not keeping the person. And I don't like that in between part. I don't think it's fair to keep someone in the in between. It's either we are or we aren't. And this is just me. It's either we are or we aren't. And so that's my thing when it comes to taking a quote unquote break, and how long is this break lasting for?
That. Now it has to, now on me, from what I say, because this has recently happened to me, this break, you have to have there has to be like guidelines. Like, are we conversating? Are we not conversating? Is this a one-way breakup? Is it a two-way break? Is it like a real breakup? Like, you go do you and I do me. It is what it is. You know? In my personal situation, it was more like, don't speak to me for like 3 weeks. Like, I need to figure me out. I need to take this information in. I need all of this, and then we'll talk after.
So what was the part that made you feel like, okay, I'm just going to take a break but not break up with you?
I still wanted this person in my life. 100% wanted this person in my life. Now, was it that I wanted this person just as a friend, or did I want this person as a significant other? And I was going through a lot of emotions at that time that I needed to figure out. And a lot of those emotions were because of this person. A lot of these emotions were because of them, and I needed to figure out myself after speaking to them and voicing my opinions and crying and getting all of that out. What did I want at the end of the day? It was, what is going to make me happy, instead of thinking about, oh my gosh, if I do this is going to ruin them. I had no point in that. It was, at the end of the day, what's going to make me happy? At the end of the day, am I okay with this? At the end of the day, are you going to change what I need you to change?
I see
And
that.
I needed that time to, after the full big conversation, to just sit there and just take it all in and enjoy me for a little bit without worrying about this person. Without communicating with this person, without feeling like I needed that at that moment.
Right.
It was a very, and you know what, in that moment, it's very selfish.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, at this moment, I'm not happy. And what is it going to make me get back to this happiness? Is it with this person or without this person? Doesn't matter what it is.
So if you had like cut him off totally and said, I'm breaking up with you,
It would have hurt.
so the taking a break didn't hurt, but
It
taking
did.
the break up, so doing a breakup would have hurt?
I think it was emotionally, it was, honestly, it's that very thin line.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because it honestly felt like a break up, but still communicating in very, very small instances. And it was kind of like refinding that connection. You know, it was.
But if you had broken up, you don't feel like you would have been able to do that?
I don't think I would have blocked completely.
Ah, okay.
It would have been a hard done.
You're like cold turkey.
Cold turkey, didn't cried my little baby eyes out. And you know, just
Yeah, it's like I'm like a break is like I'm still keeping a line of communication open with you. I'm still
Yes.
keeping it open to you.
Right.
While a breakup is like deuces for like
all right,
for
right.
real.
I've already gone through this emotional turmoil and I'm done.
Right.
And I hadn't gone through that emotional turmoil. I was still emotionally invested and still figuring things out and still trying to salvage what I wanted that I knew was making me happy. But in
Right.
this moment, I wasn't happy.
Right.
So it's that very, very thin line.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, between the three of us, I'm definitely the least relationships out of the three of us. So I never had any relationships I've been with. I always cut it off. I never had that opportunity to say, oh, I'm taking a break, and not with even my current relationship.
Your exes was let's just
That's a conversation.
that's a conversation for another day. Let's not, because your exes.
If the question before was what was your craziest day, it should have been what was the craziest people you have dated.
Let's
That's-
another conversation on
that's-
Crystal's exes. in a future my kind of convo.
Totally different.
Look out for
Someone
combo.
ask for that story. Please.
We will deliver.
Please put it in capital bold letters on all platforms.
I'm so done.
It's worth the listen.
I'm telling you now, it's 100%.
I guarantee there are other people who have wilder ones than me.
No, but yours are wild. I was here for all of them.
I find those guys. But this one, it's definitely my longest. But we managed to talk a lot of, even though every relationship has their up and down.
100%.
But we managed to definitely talk about our situation. So I haven't had to deal with a situation where I've literally had to say I need to take a break. Yeah.
There were points where I have seen that y'all get a little heated.
Oh yeah, and I guess
which is healthy in any
I think
relationship.
it's a non-verbal break, if you could say so, where I am purposely not reaching out or talking.
I've done that.
Yeah,
the
but
block button works, my friends. Okay,
I never did the block I didn't block them, but I have definitely done the no, I'm not gonna. The pettiness. I have done I'm not reaching out. I am not gonna do that today. It's not happening. I have done that. But even with the crazy people in my past, I did not take breaks, even though I think I was, and there were times I was emotionally, mentally done. But I didn't take breaks. It was either yes or no. So that's why I really wanted to discuss this a little just further, because I want to get you guys your opinion, and definitely listeners, how do you feel about breaks and breakups? Come on, Criss Cross.
All right, so my take on this, because I'm married, my mindset is intertwined in the way Kim is. Honestly, I don't think I've had a relationship where I was like, we need to take a break, or they've said we need to take a break. I think it's always been an initial breakup. And being in the marriage that I'm in now, I could definitely rock with can you go to your mom's house for 3 weeks and act like your phone don't work? I could deal with that, because most people would think that we are codependent because my wife and I do everything together, and we just have that best friend relationship first, prior to us being together,
right,
and us being married,
which is beautiful. That's,
it is, yeah. But I could definitely, with this relationship specifically, I feel the mature thing in the tie of us, because us taking a break is now we gotta get a legal separation. It's do I really want to deal with that?
It's a lot of legal.
Do I want to spend the money on that? The divorce might be cheaper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your breakup is pricey,
right? Because if we're gonna get divorced and we end up back together, I'm gonna be a little tight,
right?
Because
right,
but I think that it's mature. I think that there's a lot of maturity that goes into going on a break.
Yeah.
Especially when both people are understanding of the guideline and boundaries.
Yes.
Because how many, you know what I'm saying? I have seen different instances where, I've seen people go on breaks, and then next thing you know, they come back and they're yo, such and such did XYZ, and I'm over here just, and I'm was that spoken upon? Was that not agreed?
No, it's for me, I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with breakups.
Right.
So not only some people may already have somebody on the back burner, but some people don't know how to be alone.
Right.
And so to compensate, they already have oh, shit, I already got a rebound.
Right.
Or I've been trying to get at this one for a minute anyway. You was just,
Right.
you know. So some people definitely have that, I'm just moving on with the quickness situation. But then it makes you wonder about how much the relationship,
Right.
you know, it does. I think breakups and breaks really show people's characters and whether
Yeah.
they're willing to work through something or if they're just willing to work you away so they can move on to something else, you know.
And but it's also like, think of it the other way, being devil's advocate. Maybe it's just, I don't want to get rid of you because you're giving me something that this other person isn't giving me.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, because I am a reality TV buff as well.
So done.
On a certain channel, plug, can't say really, there's this show called Caught in the Act. Mm-hmm. And it's about people who are cheating. And a lot of and I've watched both seasons because I'm a reality TV show nut. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people say, I'm still with them because they give me what this one doesn't.
Right.
And it's like, that's still not okay.
Right. Far from it.
It's still not okay.
Far from it.
But it's just like,
That's definitely a conversation that should have been had. If someone's not giving you something that you're looking for, have a conversation with them. And let's say you do have a conversation with them and they're still not giving it to you, then you need to
reevaluate what you're doing.
what you're doing. Is this person for you?
Or it's like, there's a lot of them where it's like, well, this person is monetarily helping me, that's why I keep them around.
No, that's a whole nother conversation.
You know? So it's like, what
Yeah.
do you do in that aspect?
Right.
You know?
Right. So I think that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I brought this up because that fine line between breaking up and a break is just why, like I said, like I brought up Ross and Rachel, and I did that for a reason because
We
remember
were on a break.
we were on a break. I remember how many of us were like, bruh. You know,
It's a very, very thin line and doesn't take a lot to
I
go
feel like
over.
I agree with you. And earlier, what you were saying, you're gonna take a break, and if you believe in it and you want to take that break from your partner, definitely set the guidelines. You know, that
Absolutely.
both of you are agreeing to. You know, if one party isn't agreeing to it,
Then it's a breakup.
then it's a breakup. I think at that point you really need to establish what you both need and you know what is needed for both of you to be where you want to be in your relationship. You know, I'm still not all the way with the break thing, but I never know what the future may hold, and I never know what is needed. And I'm, you know, situations, but
You know, and
I'm not putting that out there, but I'm just saying I'm
But it's like situations like
understand
our
what you're
other
saying.
co-host who is married. You're not gonna, like, a break is what y'all got.
Right. You're gonna have to sit in the next room and build a fort for a couple weeks.
I'm so tired.
But you know, if push came to shove and we did need that space, by all means, I know you still got a bedroom in your parents' house. Go dust those cobwebs off your old high school bed.
I'm so
You know,
done.
play whatever video games you need to clear your minds. But in that aspect, you know, there's the guidelines and the understanding, and that's where the maturity comes in. Because, you know, if you agree that you guys can sleep with other people, that's on y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But if, you know, you don't, because, you know, I think that if you go on a break and you know, I think this also has to be thrown in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't respectfully wait for your significant other for a couple weeks, even if it's a couple days, and you gotta go and you're hot and just need to fill your oats, like,
Masturbation is key.
right? Like, I don't, you know, that really doesn't.
That's that whole I want my cake and eat it too.
Right. Like, that's not a pass, because initially you just don't respect your partner at the end of the day.
Right. It's you have a partner, but unless you have like an open relationship, but if that's not the case,
Right.
and you're just the only open side of the relationship, yeah, that's no,
Right.
it's cheating. Point blank, period.
And I think that in the aspect of wanting something to work or really wanting to sit with yourself to make sure that it is something solemn that you want.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you have an argument or you guys get into a bad fight or whatever the case is and you're hot-headed, I think that's the worst time. I think we can all agree that's the worst time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And, like, walk out.
Yeah.
You pack your bag and you walk out and leave. I'm changing the locks the second you walk away. I'm gonna only have one plate in my cupboard now.
But you know what? And you,
So not only am I locking the door, but I'm also throwing you out that plate and cup because I only have one.
Yeah,
But
and
it's-
I'm gonna post it everywhere.
like you said about having an argument and then going above and beyond. Honestly, this has just hit the news today. Let's do like it's celebrity news. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, they had an argument on his birthday. The next day he filed for divorce. That argument was so bad.
Well, apparently they're saying it stems from that.
It stems from this argument.
Yeah.
That the next day we had to file for divorce.
I need to know what the argument was
Well,
about.
I don't know if it was the next day exactly, but it was recent. It was literally like.
Oh, it was like August 15th or
Yeah.
something like that.
So
I don't know when Joe Jonas. I don't know when your birthday is. I'm sorry.
Oh
Still
my
love you
gosh.
though. What's up?
Oh, for real though.
What I'm saying is how that it had to have been more than just an argument.
Yeah.
Because to go to the point of divorce, it had to have been leading up to that. It
Yeah,
had to have been a build up. But apparently, this argument was the catalyst to then lead to what's happening now. So. Again, like you said, like it's a little more different for you because you're married compared to a boyfriend girlfriend, you know.
Yeah.
But all in all, I feel like I get it. For you, it's like if I need a break from my partner, my wife, my, you know, this person I dedicate my life to. That's I can see that. Yeah, I can see it in a marriage. I can
Right.
understand. I guess in a boyfriend girlfriend situation, I guess I'm a little more yes or no on it. And again,
I get you.
I haven't been there in that situation, so I'm coming from a very place of novice. You know, I'm a novice at this part, but I'm more of like it's a yes or a no. I guess I'm just that kind of person. It's just like I don't play that, but. You know, hey, I would love to hear what our listeners think. Are you for breaks? Are you, hey, we take a break and there's rules? Or no, I don't do breaks. I just straight up, it's a yes or a no. If you can't deal with me, it is what it is. So definitely let us know, comment on it. And we want to hear from you guys about breaks or breakups.
We'll definitely answer. All right, so let's go on to my topic here. So as I've said before, I am a TikTok scroller. I do this on a daily, multiple times a day. It's a horrible addiction. So a recent thing that's been popping up a lot, and I advise if you do not know what I am speaking about, please look it up. Please. It's called slap boxing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I literally just watched the video the other day. Literally yesterday, I think, about this.
Okay. Yeah. And this is how you know it's been popping up on people's pages.
I think you have to explain what it is.
All right,
first.
so slap boxing, it's an
For
official
those that
sport.
don't know.
It is an official sport. Okay?
It's sad too.
I am purposely going to sign a waiver, just like as if I was boxing. You know, you box somebody in a ring, I'm getting in a ring.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let somebody slap the bejesus out of me. All right? And I'm going to stand there if I can without getting, I'm so sorry, the medical terms is a seizure, my head contusion, concussion.
gosh.
And say, yeah.
Decapitated.
And slap them back as hard as humanly possible. Now, and this sport does not discriminate, okay?
It doesn't.
Man, woman, dwarf, everybody in it. Young, old, trans,
Old should not
everybody.
be in it. Old should never be in it. I'm just saying from what I've seen. Okay. All right. I don't even know. What is your Is there a question to this?
Yes, please tell me. Please tell me. I want to hear it.
I just honestly
Okay, if
want to
there's
know how y'all feel about this sport.
let me tell you, I'm ready. So I'm just gonna go based off what I saw literally.
I'm gonna
yesterday.
send you that video because that video is hilarious.
This man, there's two men. Okay, we go. One man is of the minority persuasion, and the other one was a white man. The men, my white man had his hands behind his back, and he's standing there waiting.
So they do have to hold. They
Their
hold.
hands.
They do hold their hands behind their backs.
backs.
Like I have researched this. This is so horrible. They hold their hands behind their backs and they hold on to like a pool noodle. It looks like, but it's a little thicker, so that when they get smacked, that the impact and their hands have somewhere to go.
Okay, so my man was definitely hand behind his back, okay? And my black brother here, when I tell you, and if you know what double dutch is, you know how when you are jumping in, you're taking a couple.
Crisscross, you know.
You have to get your body in tune with the rope.
Yes.
So you don't just jump in.
Right.
You're getting in tune. So you're kind of bouncing back and forth, getting ready to hop in. My man was bouncing back and forth with his hand and gearing his hand up to slap this man. Now, when I saw this man, now this is how I viewed it. My man was gearing up the ancestors in his hand. Okay, he was gearing them up. He was feeling Malcolm X. He was feeling Martin Luther King.
Yo.
He felt Sister Rosa Parks. He was. When I tell you, he went Harriet Tubman on that hand. That man geared that hand up. And then when he brought the fire of all the ancestors onto that man's face, I was like, well, damn.
And his head didn't come off his body?
I'm gonna send you.
I'm shocked it didn't. But the man went down. That's all I can tell you. I seen him go down. That's how I know. He was just this was the life-changing situation that he was waiting for. He felt he was representing everybody because the way he geared up with the double dutch move, and then just you could see it. It was like, I'm taking an anime reference here. When it looked like Dragon Ball. He had the fireball in his hand of the ancestors. You saw all their faces, and he geared back and slapped all fire out this man. He slapped this man into sleep mode. I was just like, in what lifespan, generational front would I ever want this to happen? Who stands here and allows it to happen? And what? And don't get me twisted though. I'm just pointing out the one I saw recently. I have literally seen even same races. It doesn't even matter about the race or creed, the gender, whatever. I have literally said, but they're usually men versus men, women versus women. It's never man hit or women go down.
Let me explain something. That would have been a whole different thing.
It's not happening. But it's usually man versus man, woman versus woman, and I remember playing. What was it when we were kids? When you used to slap each other on the
knuckles.
Right,
knuckles
on the palm of your hand.
Knuckles.
So you're holding each other's hand and you slap in the back of your hand.
Yeah.
And yes, you do take all the courage and the spirit of as a child.
Yeah.
What you thought was the hardest slap you can do, and hit your friend.
Not that. Because
But
Not my face.
not the way his hairline ran when he got smacked. My man jolted like a fish. And the dolphins, when the dolphins fly out of the water, that's what my man's look like.
But this is what I'm saying. When did we get to this point where this is an active sport? I will allow you, and me being the dada that I am, stand there and allow you to slap me.
Right.
What
are they paying these people?
What am I going through in my life?
For the concussion.
Right.
You can't hear, bro.
Right.
That man can't hear. He's never gonna be in another tournament.
I legit saw one before where it knocked the man's jaw. Knocked them. I said, what fire of the Zeus's gods did you just slap? That's what I'm saying. They don't got nothing. I don't even know. Do they have mouth guards?
So the women do put in mouth guards. I have never seen
the men with mouth guards.
I have watched a lot of videos, but I've never seen men with mouth guards. I may be wrong. Do not quote me on that. But I have seen women put in mouth guards.
It is the wildest thing.
But the way the fire and ice comes out of these man's hands, they are here for blood. And the thing is, and then I've seen a lot of men that taken the hits and they are paler in complexion
that when they start
that when they take that smack. The full handprint of Shaquille O'Neal.
No, never have him play. I would never have him play. Have you? No.
Shaq's hand is huge.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my gosh.
Their whole face is red.
That's wild.
From their neck all the way across their faces.
That's not happening.
And it's not even it's like more than half of the faces. And like, what? The concussion ain't come yet? Like, the brain damage that I could think of your brain just rocking against your skull.
It's the wildest thing. I think, when I think of mixed martial arts and how tough that is, I've literally watched a guy get his leg snap.
Oh, I seen that the other day.
Just kicking another man's leg. And you don't want to see that. And the worst part, I watched it more than once. I don't know why. I threw myself away. But that sport to me is wild. But to see this, which I have no idea how this became a sport. I don't know if the pandemic just kind of seized everybody up and we needed new sports. But the fact that we are now to a point of where we are purposely slapping each other, just full on, not punching.
No, we're slapping. Not that we didn't have boxing, which is a full contact sport, or MMA, or
this
wrestling.
is open hand. There's no glove.
There's no glove. This is straight open hand. The force of your human hand.
And that's the thing. It's like, what if that man's jaw is solid as a rock and you just slapped him? Your that's done.
Fingers is dead.
You better not be a writer. You better make sure.
You can't even sign the check.
You make sure that's not your dominant hand. That's a wrap.
Nah, it's definitely they dominant hands.
But
if you watch these videos, the way these men go down and put their whole force let's go,
man.
This is worse than Mortal Kombat.
Some of them were pulling up Wakanda with that the power.
You know how Mortal Kombat goes brutality? That's what that is.
Fatality.
I've seen a man get smacked and go into an instant seizure. And they were like, done, it's over. But
can you imagine, like, where does that, this leads into so much more. Because then, if this person gets mad and they play this sport, and, outside of their life.
Exactly.
I would never want to piss this person off.
No, we can't play outside. We can't play outside. Let's play outside. Nah, Timmy went to the tournament, yo.
Right. No. Not at all.
Who's training this man?
Can you imagine?
There are actual trainers. And they tell you if your form is good or not. And they're like, you got to smack with your whole body.
No.
There was a whole TV show and everything on this.
No.
It's crazy.
I think it's just, that's crazy. And I've seen like what I'm saying is just, where does it, and you know what? It's like, I would never get into a fight with a MMA fighter. I would never get into a fight with a boxer. I would never get into a fight with somebody that does that kind of physicality. A slap to me is something that you wouldn't think it would be. No, it does hurt, but that's extreme to me. That's super extreme. You will never slap again the same way if if that's what you do as a living. Man.
Your hand is throbbing after that.
Right.
100%.
Your hand is hot, bro.
Right.
All the blood in your body went straight to your hand.
Right.
Just to knock my man's out.
I just feel and I'm sorry to take it, but I don't feel like you'll ever slap the same way once you get into that kind of situation.
Right.
Whether it comes to your partner if they freaky that way. When it comes to anything else in your
You
life,
imagine just making her just a little bit too hard?
not even. You don't know your own strength. You don't know your own strength.
Okay, so these slap things, they do go viral, and that's what scares me, because I think of children who see these, and then we outside, I'ma smack you, my dude, I'ma smack, and then you get into slap battles in the streets. Yo, there is no medic on site, all right?
Could you imagine how crazy these kids will look? Bandaged up hands because they got caught slap boxing.
Right, exactly.
And now you gotta walk with your hands with these big old wraps.
Yeah, because you decided you wanted to play a game of slap.
You wanted to play a game of slap because you saw it on TikTok or on social media.
And I could do that.
And I could do that.
Because you don't need any, it's no gear required.
There's no gear required.
It's just your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And your strength.
And
you're
your
like,
strength.
oh, he ain't smacked me hard. Oh, and then you got your people. And oh, you know how we used to do too.
Yeah.
And now
It
the
still
slap
happens.
is the super weapon.
Correct.
That's that.
And that's what what got me to it too. And I was just like, it's such we not thinking with our brains because they've been rocking against our skulls too much. But definitely it fears for children of this era who are seeing this, and it's like, yo, let's just play this right quick.
Yeah.
And then they don't know what to do with these siblings too, and they don't know what to do. And when you got little kids, when you got a 6 or 7 year old and you got a 15-year-old smacking the fire out that 7-year-old. What are you supposed to explain to your parents?
Yeah, we were just playing. We were just following a TikTok.
I don't know, but
man,
that's what scares me when these things go viral.
Yeah.
You know, and it's definitely viral if I've seen at least 20 of these minimum.
Yeah.
On my For You page on multiple days. So, or it just may be my For You page because I'm a weird one. But
no, but in general,
that's some of these things. It comes up, and I think of warning because I am an adult at this point, an adult who's old enough to have children of that age, or know other people of my age who have children at that age, and who aren't going to stop their friends.
Right,
they just gonna stand there.
Yeah,
because that was me in high school too.
I'm just gonna say, it's one of those sports. I'm just kind of like, yeah, no, we're not. I'm not. No,
I would definitely watch it though, just to see people get the fire knocked.
Again, I watched this man bring up the past in the present. I'm just saying. Whew. Thanks, Kim, for that one, and let us know what y'all think about
slap boxing. It's definitely on TikTok.
Yes,
definitely hit us up on the gram and on Facebook. We will definitely answer how you feel. We'll see how this goes.
Yes.
All right, so it's my turn, y'all. All right, so I don't think this is necessarily a conspiracy. I was actually listening to Joe Rogan's podcast because
shout out to Joe Rogan.
Yes, love you, dog. No, but seriously, you're cool. So he had mentioned on his podcast how there was a discovery made of a Mayan calendar that predicted that went past 2012, and that it predicted the pandemic in 2019. I saw, a snippet of it, and
wait, you mean the coronavirus?
Yeah.
Oh, in 2020.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the clip I saw, which you can see on TikTok, he was mind blown, and I'm mind blown as well, because for so many years, like the Mayan calendar, quote unquote, was the end, the end of humankind, and the apocalypse, 2012, this, and yada yada yada. And then for researchers to find an addition to that calendar that, and it's not clarified when that calendar ends itself or how far it continued, but for them to have predicted this pandemic. So, for my conspiracy theorists, has anyone heard anything else about that topic? And how do you feel about that topic? Because since it's not as mainstream as the 2020, or I'm sorry, the 2012
Mayan
calendar, the end of the world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where everyone thinks that we died in 2012 and we're living, you know, in purgatory at this point.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you guys think? Like, it's, and especially to mesh it all together, with the droughts that are going on, like in the Euphrates, and crazy things are popping up all over the world that are now making us question all kinds of philosophers. So all kinds of things are popping up, like in the Euphrates rivers, underground cities that were built thousands of years ago that could house thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
But my question, now that I'm thinking about it, is, have you guys heard of the line?
The what?
The line.
The equator.
No.
She said the equator. No.
I want to say Saudi.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I want to say that. Don't quote me on that, y'all. But you guys haven't heard of the line that they're building?
No.
No.
So the line is, if you will, like a giant city within the walls of a straight line, miles down, and they're building this to house people in there with its own like ecosystem. You know, it's supposed to have like stores and houses, and it's only within these walls.
Sounds like Mad Max.
Yeah, it sounds like you. It's called Silo. I'm not gonna say what network, but it just started, and everyone lives in this large like silo because everything outside is like a dystopia kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the show's called Silo. But it sounds like that, like this one. Remember the Matrix, where
Yeah.
everyone lived underground, and it was just a whole city, a whole thing.
Yeah.
So they're currently
Building
building this.
Yeah. Like, it's nuts.
Interesting. Now, is this because, or this was being done before the discovery of this calendar, or is this because of the calendar?
This was done before this discovery.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's
It's
so,
like they see a future dystopia apparently happening.
Look.
so it's in Saudi Arabia. It's called The Line. And on their website, which I will not
They got a
name,
whole website.
They got a whole
on the World Wide
website.
Web.
Yeah, because you can invest in this.
I'm
And this
done.
is gnarly to me. So immediately, the future of urban living. A cognitive city stretching across 170 kilometers from the epic mountains of Nome, across inspirational desert valleys to the beautiful Red Sea. A mirrored architectural masterpiece towering 500 meters above sea level, but land saving 200 meters wide. The line redefines the concept of urban living development and what the city of the future will look like.
Interesting.
Why are we starting that? And when was that established? Does it say?
I think they're still working on it. No?
Yeah, well, they're currently still working on it.
But
yeah.
when did we start this?
Yeah, because it's not established yet until it's done. So they're still building it. So what you mean is like, when did it start?
Yeah.
So imagine if it's said to be done in 2025.
Oh, it's 2 years.
If they run in delays, the latest would be 2030.
Okay. Wow. That's still very recent.
Right.
So
what is the idea of that? Is the interesting part, because mine has also said little things of the third world order or third world.
I mean, they say we're living in the new world.
We're living in the new world, and
the new world order and stuff.
yeah. So what is, there are things that are coming out about that too, and that pandemic.
I think just trying to keep it within what you were mentioning about the Mayan calendar. I'm just wondering if there was some kind of a prediction where, you know,
like
something, where something is coming that, of course, we don't know about, and that may. That is coming up that they're preparing for. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's interesting that they found a new calendar, considering that we thought that 2012 was the last of it.
Right.
To find out now that there's this new calendar that predicted 2020. My whole feel about it is, damn, why'd you find it now? You couldn't find it like a little earlier?
And apparently there's evidence of a prediction of an alien invasion or visit.
Well, we knew the aliens was real. We been know.
Right.
We been know.
But we know that's coming from the government. So even if when they come here, we still gonna have Peaches in and, you know, Big Wolf saying what's up.
I'm so
you know what I'm saying? They're just gonna walk past them.
I just wondering, like, how did they find it?
Mm-hmm.
And how is it that this whole time, it never came to light until now?
Is it Mayan?
Yeah.
Is it Mayan just like the other one?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, definitely. Where was it?
Where was it this whole dang time?
Was
like,
it in the museum?
Did you like not search in a certain corner when you was looking? Like you just
right. You just.
I'm confused as to how this now just sprung up, and what else does it say? Mm-hmm. So we're already past if it already predicted the 2020, that's great. What's the future does it predict? We're in 2023. If it predicted something in 2020, wonderful. What more does it say now? Because the past is the past. It's already happened. What is it predicting for the future now? Because now we got people preparing for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And certain secret cities and lines and all of this stuff. So can you help a brother and a sister out and let us know what is it predicting for the future? Is there another pandemic coming? Is there something nuclear coming? Is there something worldly occurring that we should be, you know, probably saying, hey, maybe we should prepare ourselves a little bit. You know, I'm always talking about zombie apocalypse. I'm ready to suit up my car.
We got other friends that aren't.
It's another conversation. But I'm ready to suit up, you know, but I need prepare me. Prepare me. When Ground Zero happened, let me know.
Not prepared.
You know, when not that Ground Zero. I'm talking about like when Patient X sets down Ground Zero.
You mean like
let me know, because we live in the city, and you know,
Legend.
Cities topple in 2.5 seconds. All right, so let me know. And I think I'm more interested in wondering what it says for the future, not, you know, because what you can't do is, you know, the present and the past. The past is already done. We can only deal with now and the future.
We can only move forward.
We can only move forward. That time doesn't stop.
It ain't stop at this point.
You know?
It's still going.
So I think that's pretty. That's wild.
Gnarly.
And I would love to know, like, what took so long to find it.
That's a story for next time when everyone tunes in.
Yes, and definitely, what do you guys think about it? Again, this is another one where it's like they just found this new calendar that we thought didn't exist.
Right. So
hit us up with, what do you think?
Y2K in it again.
Right.
For real.
Somebody find a megalodon.
Done.
If you find it, just let me know where it is, so I stay out that portion of that water. I gotta stay out that portion of the water.
Yeah.
I'll never look there.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So that was our topics for today. So we're gonna definitely head into our recommendations. Each of us will definitely recommend something. It could be a place, it could be a thing, it could be a food, it could be a book, a story, things like that. Something that we have experienced recently or in the past, and something we think our listeners would be interested in. And hopefully, we'll get some recommendations from you guys so that we ourselves can read it, taste it, try it, see it, and experience it for ourselves. We love to experience different and new things. So I'll start it off. My recommendation is we are in the fall season, so definitely right now the best time to go apple picking, and soon pumpkin picking, and then tree picking. So one of the best places that I like to go to on a yearly basis, which is actually here in New York, it is Wilkins Farms. They have amazing apples, and I tell you, their bakery is to die for. I absolutely love their apple cider donuts, which are always fresh, always hot, always delicious, but the apples themselves are just amazing. They also do pumpkin picking closer and more in November. And then they have Christmas trees. So they're growing right now. And in December, you can go and cut down your own tree for your home. So they are open from now until about January, or just about, December. And then they close for the season until next year. But and they do peaches as well. But that's like late August, early September. It's very short. And then apples from now until about mid-November. And they do strawberries too. Yes. So it's definitely like go on their website and find it out. But it is a great place, not just for enjoying apples and baking and their baked goods. And they have little storefronts and their apple cider drinks. But also just for families. They go there and picnic, and they enjoy the weather. They enjoy the time together. Also taking pictures and just being with your loved ones. So it's an experience, and I recommend any kind of apple picking. I'm just saying Wilkins Farms because it's the place I've gone to, but there are other places, so definitely do that for the season and enjoy it with your family and friends. So that's my recommendation for today.
All right. Well, I wanted to recommend another podcast, which is a little dear to my heart. It is the Happily Wedded Weirdos, and their hashtag is Haunted Insomniacs. It's run by two really awesome people, Frank and Juby, who are married and watch movies and give a great critique on them. They really get in depth, and they talk about how they feel about them, what they felt was great, what they felt was not so great about the movies. They've really found their niche, and they're a really great podcast. So if you have some time, check them out. They are also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and they also have on Spotify. So check out the Happily Wedded Weirdos.
Nice. Ooh. Oh, definitely need to be on their podcast. There's some movies.
Make it work.
Some movies I need to talk about. So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
So my recommendation is actually another watch. So Netflix, for some reason, has been coming out with quite a few foreign bangers in series. If you haven't checked out Dear Child, you really should. You really should. It's a psychological thriller. And it's really
good.
Yeah, like it's real good, and it's sick. And when I say sick, I don't mean like it's gonna make you sick. I mean like it's worth the watch, because you're not gonna understand unless you watch the whole thing.
Nice.
So make sure you got the subtitles on and get watching.
Nice. All right. So those are our recommendations for today. Again, if you have anything that you want to recommend to us, definitely put it in the comments on our Instagram or Facebook. And we'll definitely look into those, because that is really interesting. And let us know if you do any of our recommendations. And we would love to hear how you felt about it, our experiences, or if you watched it or read it or listened to it. We would love to hear from you on that as well. All right, so we have our question for the day.
So our question for this listeners out there. So we are getting into spooky season, which we are all three very excited about. We're little spooky girls out here too. And that is upon us. But what are some great spooky movies that you've watched? It can be current, it can be past. Something that's really memorable. Like, for us, we love the movie The Craft.
Oh, classic.
It's such a classic. It's a cult following. Great movie. Now, the other day, just going into a little ramble here, Crystal and I decided to watch the second part, The Craft Legacy. Now, I am a huge Craft fan.
Oh yeah,
I love the characters.
We watch it more than just for the season. We could watch this like any time of the year and enjoy it.
And Criss, you have seen The Craft.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it just is what it is.
My early 20s, I was Nancy, bro.
Yo, Nancy Downs all day, every day.
Yes.
But, oh my gosh, watching The Craft Legacy, I was so upset.
Yeah.
The movie was 93 minutes probably. I saw no magic.
It wasn't even that. There was like I can't even tell you, like, it wasn't even that it was no magic. It was not like, and I'm not trying to say it should be like the first movie, but if you're bringing in 4 characters like the first movie, give me some backstory. Let me learn who these people are. Give me something to work with, you know, like at least I could tell you about each character in the first movie and what each of them were going through and what they were experiencing in their life.
Yep.
Okay, I can't tell you that in this movie
at all,
and I spent the first hour trying to figure out where we were going with this movie.
Yes,
it wasn't until the last half hour where things started rolling. The enemy revealed themselves. The girls are going through some kind of turmoil. Then all of a sudden,
the reason we bind each other is
all of this nonsense. And oh my gosh, the reason, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to see it, but the reasonings that they were given was just like, so this whole movie you weren't feeling that way, but this is the moment. This is where I draw the line. Man, when I tell you the disappointment, I felt like my eyeballs, and it's my season. Like, I'm getting closer to the season. So for all my listeners, I started a little early with Halloween, so my lovely apartment is already decored. I know some people might feel it's too early, but I like to not just throw it up and then have to take it down in like a month. So I throw it up early. So I'm already starting to watch, and if you're smart, and like some of my fellow Halloweeners, you'll watch a lot of your Halloween movies now, because when October hits, all of a sudden they're nowhere to be found. You gotta pay for it. It's like wild out here. So start watching them ASAP, so that by October you can't say, oh, I didn't get to watch it.
I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed it. Get on it now while it's free, because when October hits, all of a sudden you're paying. It's the wildest thing. But I was disappointed. And I was just like, watching this, I was just like, we had just watched The Craft the night before. I was like, all right, we're going to watch this. This is my wheelhouse. And I was like, my eyeballs hurt for the last hour and a half. What did I waste my eyeballs on? So,
you know when you just go to bed angry at a movie? And you're like, I need to look up how other people felt about this too.
Right.
Because it is such a cult following behind The Craft.
The first one, yeah.
Yes. And for The Craft Legacy to be like, oh my gosh, yes.
And
we didn't even see the legacy till the last 3 seconds of the show.
Yeah. Like the point the point of the movie doesn't even really get revealed until the last 3 seconds before it ends. Like, that's wild. Right. The whole point of the legacy part should have been the point of the movie.
Why would they do that?
I do recommend watch it if you want to. I'm not going to say you're
I'm going
not
to
going to
argue
waste
with
your
you
time.
and I didn't even watch it.
Right. And I'm just like, but you'll understand if you are a follower and you've watched the movie. If you haven't watched The Craft, I recommend it. It is definitely one of those movies that is a cult classic. It is just one of those, you can't replicate that movie. Then watch The Craft Legacy and you'll understand my pain. So it is, I am not going to say don't watch, but I am going to say I'm not happy with it.
There was a nice montage, 90s montage in there.
That honored the first one. But again, why? How did we get to this point? How did we end up here? How did this happen?
How did this happen?
So, yeah.
I don't want to spoil the movie, seriously. But it's not on my to watch list.
Yes.
It was.
It was.
It was.
It's done. It's up and
it's
done.
over.
So,
and I will not give it a second watch.
I agree with Kim. If there are movies, and there are some B, Z, E, F, G movies that are not the best, but hey, they're worth watching because there is a cult following. So if there is some spooky, classic, non-classic, current, not current movies that you think we should watch, especially for the spooky season, definitely let us know. We would love to look it up. I know I definitely want to do one of my friends wants to do a movie night, and
Yes.
he wants to do it for what's the movie? It's one of my favorite movies. It will come to me. It will come to Final Destination.
Oh,
Yes. And I was
There's a lot
like,
of
we need to
movies.
do a whole night on
that's
that.
a Harry Potter movie marathon.
And it's
And
crazy because I'm gonna send it to you. He sent a video about that the first movie had a completely different ending, and they filmed it completely different. So if you haven't watched it, I won't say anything about it, but Final Destination had a completely different ending. They showed it to like audiences. They wasn't feeling the change. They actually had to go back and redo several scenes to the ending we have today. So I've seen it. I will send you the video. It is wild, the ending that they had originally for this movie.
I need it.
But there's 4, and I think that, and they're coming out with a new one. There's 5 movies, Final Destination. I'm so excited. They're coming out with another one. So I was like, let's do it. So if you have
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of all the trauma that those movies caused me.
Right.
And I still watch them till this
Yes.
day. I watch them for fun.
Right.
But I'm never going to drive behind those trucks that carry all the cars.
me too.
That truck that holds all the logs.
Me too.
Put
Me too.
anything like
Me too.
that. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be able to jump out of my car. I'm sorry.
That's right.
If you lost your life. But since you haven't watched the movie and you're not afraid, do what you
you're
gotta
good
do.
for you. Exactly. If you know the Final Destination movies, and that's not just that. There's the whole
All-
plane.
The plane,
Yep.
the
Yep.
movie
Yep.
theater,
roller coaster.
the
Yep.
roller
The movie
coaster.
theater. There was the NASCAR.
The NASCAR.
Yeah.
Going getting tanned.
Yeah.
Getting your hair
so
done.
many
The
instances.
watch,
The watch.
the kitchen, the kitchen scene.
Yeah.
I said, there
I-
was so many wrongs.
I freak out going into Home Depot sometimes, especially in that area where they got the nail gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch
'em.
Final
Watch
Destination.
that. They are good watches.
No Fears Unlocked if you
But-
haven't watched it.
Send us some of your top picks and some of your spooky movies, and
Yeah,
would
we
love
need
to
another movie to watch.
get a watch out of them.
Yes. yes.
All right, so that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Definitely, again, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are My Kind of Convo, and you can check us out on X. We have formerly Twitter. So definitely comment. We'll be posting on there. Also, you can hear us not only just on Spotify, you can hear us on Apple, you can hear us on iHeart, and you can hear us on Amazon. So check us out on those platforms as well. And please share, subscribe, comment. We would love to hear from you. And we thank you all so much for listening to us. Once again, this has been
My Kind of Convo.
Bye, guys.